Mercedes-Benz C200 W204 model car. The problem with this car is the charging system. The alternator of the car does not charge the battery. What is the problem of not charging? How to check and solve the problem? This video shows step by step. So please watch the full video. Then you will be able to solve and repair the problem of this type of charging system of the car, inshallah. On behalf of this YouTube channel, I wish you all the best and congratulations. Now I will start the car engine and check if the battery is charged or not. I turned the ignition switch to the on position and started the car engine. Now let's go outside the car and check if the battery is charged or not. After starting the car engine and the battery charging voltage is 11.97 volts, the alternator is not charging the battery. Now I will stop starting the car engine. Some of the reasons why the alternator is not charging the battery are mentioned below. Belt problems. If the belt is loose or torn, the alternator cannot rotate properly. If the belt slips. Battery problems. If the battery is damaged or old, it cannot hold a charge. If the battery terminals are damaged or corroded. Fuse problems. If the alternator fuse is damaged. Wiring problems. If there is a problem with the wires connecting the alternator to the battery. Alternator problems. The alternator is damaged or damaged. If the voltage regulator is not working properly. If there is a problem with the alternator wiring. First, I will check all the fuses in the fuse box in the engine compartment. I checked and found that the fuses were not damaged, all the fuses were fine. I opened the rear bonnet of the car. Inside the bonnet, on the right side, there is a fuse box. Check all the fuses in the fuse box. I have checked all the fuses, but there is no problem with the fuses. I will check the positive supply 12-volt connection from the battery to the alternator with a test light. Now, if I connect the test light to the positive supply 12-volt wire coming from the alternator, I see that the test light is on, which means there is no problem with the 12-volt positive supply wire connection. There is no problem with the wiring, fuse, and battery of this car. Now I am not charging the alternator, so to change the alternator, I will first remove the battery negative terminal. Open the battery negative terminal and cover it with a cloth so that their connection is not interrupted. I took out the Mercedes-Benz air intake hose tube air filter housing to turbocharger and removed this hose pipe. Now I will use these Spanish tools to open the fan belt. First, I will loosen the fan belt by installing the fan hex key bit inside the tensioner and pulling on the tensioner. I will install the tensioner locking pin and lock the fan belt tensioner. Lock the fan belt tensioner. Now I will remove the fan belt. Before removing the fan belt, be sure to note what position the fan belt was installed in. Now I will remove the alternator by removing the alternator cable connections and the 4 screws that attach the alternator to the engine block. Now I will take out the alternator by opening everything up like this. I opened the alternator and took it out. This alternator has a charging system problem, so I will replace it and install a new alternator. I had ordered a brand new alternator. Look, the new alternator has arrived. After installing this new alternator, I will check to see if the charging system problem is resolved or not. Now I will install the new alternator inside the car in this way. Insert the alternator carefully so that no wire connections or water pipes are damaged while inserting the alternator. Now I will attach the alternator to the engine body with screws. All the alternator screws are installed. Now I will install the fan belt. I installed the fan belt between the alternator pulley and all the pulleys. Now I will remove the locking pin from the fan belt tensioner. The fan belt tensioner is held in place by a locking pin, so the fan belt is now loose. The fan belt will tighten if you remove the locking pin and release the tensioner. Now I will connect the alternator wire socket and connect the battery's positive supply 12-volt wire. Now I have completed the installation by connecting the alternator cable socket and the battery positive supply. Now I have attached this hose pipe from the air intake hose tube to the air filter housing to the turbocharger. After completing the air filter housing to turbocharger hose pipe installation, I will now install the battery negative terminal. Now I will tighten the battery negative terminal with a 10mm spanner. Tighten the battery negative terminal so that there is no looseness. If there is looseness, there will be a problem with the charging system. I am testing the battery before starting the car engine. Battery charging is 12.51 volts. There is no problem with the battery. Now I will get inside the car. To start the car engine, I entered the car and first turned the ignition switch to the on position. Now I will start the car engine. I started the car engine. Check the dashboard meter and there are no warning lights. No problem, inshallah. Now I will go outside from inside the car and test the battery charging voltage. How many volts is the alternator charging? See, after changing the alternator, now the charging voltage is more or less than 14.18. Now the charging voltage is fine. Now there is no more problem, inshallah. If you have any problems understanding anything while watching the video, please let us know by commenting in the comment box. Thank you for watching the video.